Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fandom Harbor. I'm here with Dan on Tap and Felicity Poubelle, the nerdy naysayer. How's it going, everybody?
It's going, man. Can't wait to start talking about this stuff that we are going to talk about today.
And you, Dan, how's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Coming off of a nice little time at Barrel and Flow over there in Pittsburgh. I really enjoyed myself. So if
Yeah,
y'all into beer, it's the place you should go. I'll leave it
yeah.
at that.
There you go. There you go. So, what are we gonna get into first? Do we want to do Eyes of Wakanda first, or actually, you know what? Let's hear what you got to say about weapons and your experience of visiting the
Oh
theater.
my gosh. Okay. All
Yes.
right. So first off, with weapons, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
Okay.
I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'll just say that up front.
Okay.
Even though I had some issues with the movie, I still feel like people can probably see it and have a good time with it. If you've seen the first trailer that they put out, I would say that'd probably be the best way to go in off of the power of that trailer alone. And I don't believe they put out. I think maybe they put out one more trailer and maybe some clips. But again, first trailer only, and then go in. Setup is
Okay.
basically that 17 kids disappear from an elementary school class at 2:17 in the morning, and nobody knows what really happened. The background. There was one child remaining in the class that did not get taken.
They were in
Uh,
the classroom at 2 o'clock in the morning.
no, no, no. That
Okay.
they
They're
all happen
associated with
to
the classroom.
be they all happen to be in this one teacher's class,
Okay. Oh, I see.
and
I see.
and
I see. Okay.
17 of her students went out the door of their respective homes, and we don't know what happened to them at the beginning of the story. And
Got
there's
it.
one child remaining that was not affected, as far as we know, at the beginning of the story. And obviously, when something like that happens, everybody wants to look at the adult to say, hey, what did you do with these kids? So the beginning of the movie is 30 days later, and we're still trying to figure out the mystery at a PTA meeting. And we go from there. And that's a pretty good setup, I think, for
Okay.
any movie, whether it's
Okay.
a horror or
Yeah.
drama or whatever. But my issue with this movie is the tonal shift, and I'm not going to go any further than that because I think I don't want to spoil it for people.
Okay.
I've actually been
Hmm.
thinking about this movie since I saw it on Friday. Unfortunately, for me, when I think a lot about movies that I've seen, I tend to break them down and to kind of find out why I didn't like it, or what flaws the movie had that made me not like it. And that's kind of what's where I'm at right now. But I still think it's interesting enough of a movie for people to see, and that they may enjoy. Zach Krieger, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Same guy who did Barbarian. I don't know if either one of you
Mhm.
saw that movie.
I don't
Uh,
think so. I don't think I ever saw that.
I
okay.
was I was supposed to see it, and I think I got sick that week. I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I see what
Barbarian is an interesting movie. I had some issues with that movie, but I won't
right.
get into that. But
Can we read
but
that on your review page? Or is that
on Barbarian, I no, I didn't review that one, but I probably should, since Zach Krieger did that one too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, that's a
Good
good idea.
tie-in.
I probably should
It's a
yeah,
good tie-in. Yeah.
I should review that.
yeah.
But yes, I do have a Criticless account, so I did put up a review
Nice.
of weapons there. But yeah, the tonal shift is where I got lost on this movie, and I think it's a shame because I think if he had kept the same momentum,
Yeah.
I
Mm.
think it would have been great. I
Okay.
mean, at the point of the tonal shift, I was headed at least to an 8 with the movie. But then when that shift happened, I was like, oh no, I can't with this.
Mm.
So yeah, but some people may have a different, opinion of it. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of people are having fun, in the theater,
In
with the movie. So,
from what you hear
But
or what you
but
experience.
not necessarily everybody.
well, okay, and all right. So again, 6.5 out of 10.
Okay. All
And
right.
I do still recommend it to people, whether or not they want to go see it in the theater. That's another story.
Okay.
But yeah, I did have an experience in this theater that really upset me.
Okay.
And, I went to see it with my daughter, and she actually probably was in the spot that she needed to be in order to, keep things calm. Because if I was sitting next to these girls, now we were on the end seats,
Okay.
and hang on a second.
I feel like the story is gonna be
Yeah,
really.
I just wanted to clear my throat before I
Yeah.
got really
Yep.
into this one. So I usually will get the end seats in the
Hmm.
of the row, and I should have known this was going to be trouble when these two girls came in and they had their pajamas on and they had blankets, and they sat in the seats next to
Sorry.
us.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and I was like, okay, people want to come to the theater and be comfortable. I get it, but I should have known that was the trouble point.
Shit.
And of course, these girls, and I guess they were teenagers. Their parents probably dropped them off,
Hmm.
because they didn't want to deal with them to the late night show. And
Fair.
God.
they've just proceeded to talk off and on throughout the entire movie.
Wow.
And I was
Wow.
just like, if I was my daughter who was sitting like right next to them, I I would have said, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it was my daughter who, had a little bit of a better attitude.
Okay.
And as the tone of the movie changed, it seemed to open up for the rest of the audience in the theater.
Okay. They started to get more
So,
serious.
well, they started to get the tonal shift is a shift into comedy.
Oh,
Um,
Hmm.
well, that's
Hmm.
odd.
so yeah, yeah,
That's
uh,
really odd.
yeah. So people were starting to laugh and talk a little bit more,
Yeah.
which, you know what, that actually didn't affect my rating on the movie. I still
Okay.
got what I
Hmm.
needed out of the movie to grade it.
I'm
But
having a hard
it
time imagining
just
this story having a need to shift to a more comedic tone, but okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
Same. Same.
So no, but the thing is that I'm just like, I kind of get it. It's the late night,
Okay.
show that we went to,
Yeah.
and sometimes you're thinking that you're going to get maybe that type of crowd, but it wasn't that. It was just those two girls,
Right.
Hmm.
and I just my thought is, what kind of home training do you have where you think you could just
Yeah.
walk into a theater and just sit there and
Yeah.
talk through the whole thing? I
Yeah.
Hmm.
just, yeah, I just thought it was ridiculous, and I'm like, this is one of the reasons why people are just like, forget this.
Hmm.
If I'm going to go and pay to see
Right.
something,
Right.
I want to experience it the way that I want to experience it. But
Right.
you know, uh, you know, obeying some sort of social norms.
Yes.
You got to be able to be around other people and control yourself, and they just could not
Hmm.
control themselves.
I don't
And
think that
Hmm.
exists anymore. This social norms thing.
I mean,
I think
it's
that's
it's
gone.
the worst part about it is that there's zero recourse. It's not like you could
Yeah.
report the ways user next to you, so to speak, on Google, so to speak. It's but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, you're. I mean, again, were the people on the other side of them as well.
yeah, I mean, actually, there was a pretty good crowd in there.
Okay.
So this movie's probably gonna end up doing pretty well. It looks like it took the #1 spot
Interesting. Yeah.
from Fantastic Four.
For
But
While
yeah,
you know what's funny about that is because Julia Garner is in both.
yeah,
that is
yeah.
true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And look, and that's another reason. I'm kind of glad that you brought that up because that is another reason. One of the reasons why think people still probably need to see this for themselves
Okay.
because the acting, cinematography, and the storytelling aspect is actually pretty good.
Okay.
In the movie up until a certain point. So yeah, I mean, you got Silver Surfer, you got Wong, you got Thanos in there. You even got Han Solo in the movie.
There you go.
So yeah, you got all these Marvel and Star Wars, people in the movie, and they acquit themselves well. It's just the people in the audience that seem to have a problem with that.
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
the, the fact that they came in their pajamas with blankets is like, hey, you clearly just want to watch this movie as if you are at home. So
And
this is like
Netflix
an
and chilling at the
invitation.
theater.
This is an invitation. I mean, I would rather, again, I don't advocate, riding the high seas, as people say, but if that will keep those people out of the theater, I might have to change my tune on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard to that whole. I used to have a friend that would go to the movies with me sometimes, and we would just we go see the the superhero movies and stuff, and or at least we tried. And the minute we'd sit down, he'd have like a list of questions about stuff, and I'm like, "You're asking now?"
Yeah.
I don't know how to handle this. I came here to watch.
That's to me, like, if you go out with your friend,
Yeah.
and let's say your friend is like more experienced in this IP or this genre or this director or whatever the case is, you meet them for a quick bite to eat ahead of time or a cup of coffee, whatever you're doing, and you go over it then before you step foot in the theater.
Yeah,
That's how I would do it.
I didn't have the precognition to think that maybe I should give him a rundown of all of this stuff.
Can you give me the complete history about the Fantastic Four?
He's like, so who's this guy over here? What is he doing? I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to be the rude dude and talk in the theater now.
Oh no, yeah. So I don't see how they solve that problem. That's just a social,
Yeah,
a
it's
social
hard.
problem.
It's hard.
People
Yeah.
just not realizing that they're not at home, and you have to have a certain decorum when you go out into the public to these
Mhm.
type of things.
Yeah.
So I was surprised that nobody else around me was like, you know,
Yeah.
saying
At least
anything.
at least shush them or something. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
think it's a
nobody,
couple
nobody.
things. Yeah, I think it's a couple things. Nobody wants the confrontation, right? Nobody wants to end up on the
True.
internet, right? Nobody wants that. The other thing is that theater
Mhm.
workers, even if you go and tell them, some of them might be intimidated by having to approach somebody and be like, "Hey, you need to quiet down." Like, we're entering a time where it's very difficult for people to address behavior within a certain
Mhm.
setting, even though you may be at someone's place of business, right? You haven't bought the business; you bought a ticket to a show that's
Mhm.
happening at this place of business. However, we are so sensitive now, I think, to the idea that something could happen that we don't want to be captured in a certain way. So I think a lot of times that, even if you go tell the theater workers, they might be like, yeah, I don't know what you want me to do, you know,
Yeah.
unless I have
No,
security there.
yeah. If I had been
Yeah.
sitting in the same place that my daughter was, I would
Yeah.
at least give them a dirty look to say,
Okay.
"Hey,
Yep.
don't
Yeah.
it's opening night. It's not like we're at the point where people have seen it like 4 or 5 times.
Right.
Everybody wants to pay attention to the movie and get what they can out of the movie, not
Mhm.
your stupid ass conversation that you're having
Mhm.
throughout the movie.
It just
Well,
makes me
yeah.
think
Yeah.
about being younger too and not being aware of certain things and just like it's weird being in my 40s now because I see kids like teenagers doing certain things. And I'm like, why are you guys acting that way? And then I think about it again and I'm like, oh yeah, they don't know
Yeah.
shit.
Mm.
Well, I mean, the guy next to me, I think it was Fantastic Four. I think it was. He
Okay.
had his phone rang at least 3 times during the
Oh
course of the
wow.
movie. I mean, he caught it pretty like decently quickly the last two times, but the first time I think he was completely unaware. But he didn't even attempt to turn his ringer off. After the
Mm.
first time or the second time. So
Maybe
either
he
you
was
don't know
on
how to use your phone, which is a
yeah.
whole other level of understanding,
Yeah.
but or it's just like a complete lack of consideration when they only tell you 6 times before the movie starts, to shut off your phone, and they have whole like creative ways to put it, and they'll pretty
Right.
soon they'll have like I don't know, R2D2 come out and tell you not to shut your phone off, or Chopper would be better suited for that. Actually,
Chopper would come on, just slap it out of your hand. I think
exactly.
like put that damn thing away.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was weapons. I think. I mean, I might want to
I
see
mean,
it now.
I think I still want to check it out. Don't know if I'll have a chance to get it
Yeah.
at it in the theater,
Yeah.
but I definitely want to check it out, and I definitely have to. I still have to go back and watch Barbarian for sure.
It's at a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is interesting. And
Wow.
you did a
Wow.
6.5 out of 10, right, Felicity?
Yeah, I think that
They have
there's
it at
a lot of hype.
7.9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of hype for this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I do think a certain crowd would have fun with this. It just was not for me. That tonal shift and a character that kind of leads that tonal shift is what changed the whole way that I thought about the movie
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
up until that point. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're going to start getting a lot more horror in the near future because
Yeah,
you can
I think
make a
so.
lot of the money back.
True.
In the first couple weeks if you keep the budget low.
Yeah.
But there's more opportunities for storytelling, I think,
Mhm.
that people can take advantage of. I just hope that we
Yeah.
don't get into the situation that we're in now, where we're starting to get a lot of preachiness and bringing too much of things in that maybe shouldn't be brought in.
I see.
Because you're still trying to entertain people.
Mhm.
So we'll see. But yeah, I even though I didn't have the greatest actual opinion of the movie, I still really do think that people probably do want to check it out.
Mhm.
It's interesting. You
Can I
brought
have-
up two good
yeah.
points there.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking recently about like the cyclical nature of culture. I mean, even to the point now where we're at the point now where there are some people in Brazil bringing back afros, right?
Mm.
And yeah, I'm saying this for a reason. And then there was a prime time of horror back in what, the 70s, kind of like mid 70s, mid 80s, where like
Right.
there was just tons of horror movies that were doing great. I mean, you had Nightmare
Mhm.
on Elm Street, you had what was it, Friday the 13th with the Voorhees, but then you had
Mhm.
all these other movies that are known as like classics, right? Like what's the one with Jack Nicholson and the hotel, The Shining, right?
Mhm.
When did that come out? Was that the 70s? I don't know.
That would have been the 70s, maybe like
Yep.
early 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't remember the
Kubrick.
exact year.
yeah.
Yeah, and
But
before we went into this movie, they did actually advertise the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Ooh,
re-release
yes. There you go.
for the
yeah,
anniversary.
yeah. So I
So
think we're
yeah,
hitting that. Yeah, we're hitting that stride now. Where I agree. What is what I'm saying, that I think that horror is on the rise and on the comeback, especially with stuff like Megan that came out a couple of years ago.
Mhm.
Right? People love that. I mean, there's been a few movies that held that genre together. But
Mhm.
I think we're going to see an uptick, especially with not theaters, but corporations not wanting to waste a lot of money on movies that are not going to bring a
Mhm.
big return, right?
Yeah. Like, why spend
Yeah.
400 plus million on something?
Yeah, the 80s. There you go.
There you go. 80, 81. There you go. So there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Why
So,
would you do? I mean, look at Chronicles, right? I mean, it's a different genre, of course,
right.
but it was a superhero movie that didn't cost much at all. Ended up being a cult hit and probably made a
Right.
ton of money on VHS sales, which is a dinosaur
Mhm.
thing at this moment. But at the time, I mean, it is, but
Oh, you know what? That
yeah.
actually brings up another quick point I'll make on this.
Okay.
Because a lot of times you'll get these guys that'll come in to the horror space and they'll hit with like their first movie.
Yeah.
They'll make
Mhm.
some money, but then we want to elevate them so quickly and then they end up falling off because You know,
Mm-hmm.
maybe we gave them too much money, maybe we gave them too much
Mm-hmm.
attention, and didn't actually let them, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
grow a little
Yeah.
bit more before we started
Mm-hmm.
throwing everything at them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a really good idea or a really good idea with execution on a single movie does not make one a pillar of horror writing, obviously.
Well,
So
I mean, Chronicle, that was what, Josh Trank, right? So you
yeah,
you know what
right.
happened, Fan Four Stick,
Mhm.
and he
Yep.
kind of fell off hard. So yeah, we gotta be careful
Like
about elevating
like
them too
would you
fast.
say like Johnny, he almost ran out of oxygen?
I guess so.
So I'm
Closest
gonna
thing to
use this
choking,
time.
basically.
I'm gonna use this time to like segue into War of the Worlds because I didn't see it. I don't
Oh
know, Felicity. I know you didn't see it, but did you see it, uh, Dan? The new one with Ice
no,
Cube? No.
did not see that.
Oh my
So
God! You know
so
what?
so
I
Ricky,
mean,
what's
how
it?
do we even call this a movie? He's basically sitting at the computer terminal the whole thing through, right?
It didn't Tyler Perry make this?
Did he
Was
really?
it?
Am I wrong about that?
Did he
Am
show
I?
up as Medea in it?
No, 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 no,
Oh my
no,
god, that'd
no.
be amazing.
No, no, he didn't. Okay, okay. For some reason, I thought that Tyler Perry was connected to this, and I don't. Somebody mentioned his name, and I think that they were just incorrect. However, this is what the fourth time that they've tried War of the Worlds. We had the original
Yep,
movie, right? We had the original movie, then we had the one with Keanu Reeves, right? Am I
right.
am I remembering that
Was
correctly?
it Keanu?
I think that there was a. Let me look this up so I don't get this wrong, but I'm pretty sure there
Wait,
was a.
wasn't
I,
Tom Cruise? Wasn't Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise.
in
Tom
it?
Cruise is in one of them.
Is
Yeah.
it Tom Cruise?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm thinking about the day the Earth stood still. That's why. Okay.
or it's
Yeah.
just still.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
yeah,
So yeah, it
yeah.
was Tom Cruise. You're right. It was Tom Cruise. But then we had an Epics TV series
Version.
that
Yeah, yeah.
right that came as well, which wasn't bad. That wasn't terrible at all.
Hmm.
Now, what? Why do we need a fourth version of this film so soon after Tom Cruise? And then the Epics version the series was not that long ago.
I
But
mean,
anyway,
the
I mean, I feel
premise
like
of it actually wasn't bad. The fact
no,
that they wanted to feed on our data.
yeah,
hmm
I thought you
hmm
you you could have done some interesting things with that, but you did this.
right,
And it's, oh my God.
right, right. Yeah, yeah. It was
yeah.
Tom Cruise. It was Tom Cruise. Did you see it? You watched it, Archie?
Oh
So
man,
I saw a clip on YouTube. So the only reason why I know about this, by the way, is because this is going to be a long segue. There is a beef going on between the comedian Aries Spears and Ice Cube. Like Aries Spears has been
really?
dragging Ice. Yeah, like he's been dragging him and calling him a terrible actor and all kinds of stuff. Uh,
Ay.
which I guess if you're looking at certain films, you can agree with, but I mean, the man doesn't have a terrible catalog.
Yeah.
Some of his earlier work, obviously connected to who he was as a rapper. But then later on, I mean, Friday, the next one after that, and then what was it?
Barbershop.
Yeah, Barbershop. But those two movies were. I mean, I don't know about other people, but I enjoyed those. Those weren't terrible. But anyway, Aries Spears is like been going in on him, and Ice Cube's been responding, and then Ice Cube drops this movie, and then Aries Spears just like gets on TikTok, and he's just like, "What did you expect? I told you." He's just
Oh god.
and he just dragged the fuck out of him, and everybody else is dragging him too.
Are
But I
are
saw.
they actually friends? Like
I
in
don't
real
think so.
life?
I don't think
Okay.
so. I don't
Okay.
think so. Aries Spears is. I don't want to talk too much about something that's got nothing to do with me, but he got his ass kicked by somebody on the was it Corey that other comedian Corey Holcomb has a radio show, and Aries Spears was on there, and he was a guest, and one of his co-hosts basically, I guess, got tired of Aries and the way he was talking, and I guess he was drinking the whole time. He got up and he actually beat the crap out of him.
Whoa,
Sheesh.
Yeah,
on
That's
their
wild.
podcast?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. This was on like they were recording as well. They were on video. So he's on one right now. So it's
Wow.
not surprising that he would be starting random beefs with people. But anyway,
Wow.
somebody shared a clip of Ice Cube reading from the script, and it sounded as if it was the first time that he actually saw the script. and he didn't. He wasn't acting.
It could very well be. It could very well be.
He wasn't acting. He was just like just straight up, trying to read it and trying to be in the moment, I guess, at the same time.
Wow.
Um, so that tells you the quality of, I guess, effort
So
there.
here's a question. Would I be better off watching Ice Cube World of Worlds, or would I be better off watching Craven?
Craven.
Craven.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Craven. And I'm gonna tell you,
Okay.
I was in my kitchen. I think I mentioned this before, but I gave Craven a chance after the fact when it was on Netflix. I was in my kitchen washing the dishes. My dishwasher was broken at the time. I turned it on, and it was broken for about a year, but I finally got a new one. But anyway, it was it is a time passer, but it was actually kind of enjoyable in that setting. It wouldn't be something that I would pay money to go see in the theater. Though it was like no way I would put up with the risk of facing what Felicity faced. With people talking and or people throwing stuff and just
Yep.
I don't know, just genuinely being rude. Just to go see a movie like that, like
So
you really got.
actually, I have a question about theater etiquette now.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
You both know that I'm a veteran of Regal 4DX, and I constantly will see people who I immediately know are first timers, basically who've never been there before, because they have like half the restaurant there. Nice. Okay, noted. OG, noted. They have like half like the snack counter there, but most notably they put their big ass soda right in the cup holder, which is basically like, unless you drink through some of it, if you drink through like maybe like an inch down, you're probably fine. But if you don't touch the drink, like most people won't touch it because they don't want to hit the bathroom at all that early in the movie. But like, should I not be warning people, basically?
Oh, I don't know.
I say warn them.
Yeah.
That would suck to have that experience and just get covered in, your drink.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know.
Your
So
Mountain
if you
Dew,
do
yeah.
know, share that. Share that with people that maybe aren't aware.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I haven't had a soda at a movie theater probably in close to 10 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
I mean,
so
they serve beer
Yeah.
there, but most of the stuff, most of it's macro, and so I
Oh,
usually don't
you
get
do.
anything anyway. So it's
Yeah.
they actually have the AMC near my office. They actually have like legit stuff on tap. So if I really want to, I get some there, but I don't even do that often. I don't get so that often either. For this point.
I sprung for a hot dog when I went to the theater the other day, and I regretted it immediately when I got the price tag. I was like, well, "Are you kidding me? This is like the price of probably like I don't know 6 packs of hot dog."
The price tag is almost as high as the milligram count of sodium.
Yeah, or like the price to buy all the individual ingredients and make and feed your neighborhood. Maybe I don't know.
I would agree. I believe that.
Yeah, so War of the Worlds, I don't know, man. I don't think it's worth the watch. It's a 3% now on Rotten Tomatoes. It was a 0 for a little bit.
Damn.
I don't know how it got up to 3%, but it's a 3% now. Listen, if you need to pass the time and you want it, of course you go and you check it out. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel bad for
But
Ice
you said
Cube.
like going to the theater, maybe not so much.
Man, no, absolutely not. There's no way that you would ever. And this was not even marketed, right? Did anyone know that this was coming out?
I had no idea this was even happening.
It's on Prime. I don't think it's in theaters.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it would be the height of you can't put a movie in theaters where the movie, there wasn't even a set. I don't even think all these people were on the same set.
I don't think so either.
I think
Wow.
they were all filming from different locations.
Yeah.
It's Amazon Prime, which is hit or miss.
And I think there was also some AI in it too. Somebody was saying, I don't know if that's been confirmed, but that's what people were saying.
I'm sure.
I would
there's
believe
some
it.
AI. Yeah, I'm sure there's some AI
I mean,
involved.
At this point, it's going to start happening. I'm reading a comment now off of like somebody gave it a 1-star review. It's like every once in a while, a movie comes along that makes you forget about life for a little bit. Ice Cube is an NSA analyst, and April Angora is also in this, I guess, and runs NASA. And you ready to turn your brain off and enjoy the show? I don't think so.
Oh, okay, but you gave it a 1 star.
Well,
So
it's
Wow.
the War of the Worlds 2025 is unironically the funniest piece of film I've seen this year. The performances and CGI are pulled straight out of a sci-fi original from 2011. Ice Cube gives
Wow.
some of the best one-liners I've ever heard. He's
There you
obviously
go.
not acting well in these scenes, but I absolutely love his deadpan reads. I think he did it on purpose. I
Mhm.
think he got paid for this, and he knew that it was a terrible script, probably. And he's like, you know what? Maybe he didn't get paid well for it. I don't know. Something happened in between there, but I think he kind of did that performance on purpose. It seems when you read a comment like that, it seems like somebody's delivering something with some intention, or maybe I'm
I
wrong.
would. I think I would like to. I think I would like like I'd love to. There be like a makeshift like snakes on the plane bit where he's like get your I don't know
I get these mother snakes off this
get
plane.
your mother loving bladder off my mother loving data or something like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking about what it would be.
I
I think
mean,
that'd be a great pop culture reference. I think.
I would think now, no, just this is just me, but
Okay.
like this is like what like the fourth or fifth or sixth version,
Yeah.
Mhm.
of this classic.
Not even
Right.
including the
You
original
know,
radio show.
yeah. So
Right. I
I'm
didn't
just
mention that.
like,
Yeah.
can you? I mean, I would think I would want to have some thoughts about, do I want to do this type of representation of a classic? I think that would have came into my mind unless there were a whole lot of zeros on the check. And I can't
Mhm.
Yeah.
imagine that all these people got paid that much for a prime,
Nah.
movie.
No. I mean, if anything, a lot of this cast is probably on a long list of people that they have signed the contracts to do films.
That's
Maybe.
fair.
Because I think that works. It kind of works that way sometimes. 'Cause if you go to Prime right now, there's a few actors that you see in a bunch of movies for them, right? That you're like, okay, well, I guess they
Hmm.
signed a contract. Like what's his name? Donald Glover. He has a
Hmm.
production contract with them, right? It's a little different. So he's actually making films for them, but something like that. And then Chris, not Hemsworth. Uh, what's the Chris that played Star Lord?
Pratt.
That.
Chris Pratt, right? He's been in a bunch of Prime movies, right? But some of those have been good. What's up? Welcome to the stream, JBM.
Hey, JB.
Yeah, it's I don't know. War of the Worlds. I'll leave that up to your judgment.
You know what? I will
Hmm.
recommend one thing that's on Prime right now. I
Okay.
think it's actually pretty still popular.
Okay.
Um, The Heads of State, with John Cena
Oh,
and Idris
That
Elba.
was fun. That was a
Yeah,
fun. That
it
was a.
was
saw the
just
ad. Yeah.
dumb fun, and I had
Okay.
so much of a good time with it.
And
So yeah, I would
some of the
recommend that.
action was like pretty decent.
Yeah, you did have a little a female protagonist, and
Yeah,
I thought a lot of her
that's
fights
exactly
were
who I was
pretty
alluding to.
realistic. Yeah, pretty realistic. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe I'll check that out. I saw the ad for it, but I didn't know if it was more like. And this is the problem with being my age, and knowing what it was like to go to the grocery store and see like DVDs next to the cash register at some point, because you're like, well, I know that these are the bargain bin movies. Sometimes you found a hit in there, right? So sometimes
Hmm.
I look at Prime that way because you don't know if the movie's going to be good or not. I hate to say it, but
Hmm.
um, they do have some surprises.
Hmm.
Yeah, it
There
seems
were
like it is
actually
worth a
quite a
watch.
few cameos, actually, or
Yeah,
people I did not expect in that movie too.
yeah. Well, Idris does a good job with most of the stuff he's in. I
Hmm.
got to give it
Hmm.
to him. I don't think I've ever seen an Idris Elba movie or show and walked away and thought, "Nah, I didn't like it." I really don't think there's one. And I've seen most of his stuff. I think that he does a really well job. Um, John Cena is hit or miss sometimes, but he's also doing really well. Peacemaker is phenomenal, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, I'll check that out. Uh, I'm gonna do a segue here before we talk about Eyes of Wakanda, and I'm gonna talk about this UFC thing. Wait,
I did not hear about this till later in the day. I was like pretty
yeah.
shocked.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a big deal because Paramount it bought the broadcast rights to UFC.
Right.
And one second, I'm writing a banner here.
Mhm.
And it's going to change the game. It really is going to change the game. The reason it's going to change the game is because I think that we're going to see the end of the pay per view model for UFC, which was something that the WWE leaned towards when they first did their website, right? Like the WWE network that came out, and people were joining that because they didn't have to pay these, big, large prices for, what was it, $64 to see like a Royal Rumble or
Right.
something like that. And then
Mhm.
now UFC for one pay per view is like over 80, not counting the ESPN subscription that you got to pay monthly, right? Um, you know, hold on. Sorry. Let me get this question. Which DJ movie are you talking about? Idris was in the
I
movie with DJ?
remember the movie that he was in, but I can't remember the name of it. And
Hmm.
I haven't
Wait,
seen it either. It's
wait.
a smaller movie.
When you say DJ movie, it was about a DJ, or was about Dwayne Johnson was in it? Is that?
No, no. Idris is a DJ
Oh,
in
he,
real
he
life.
is a
Oh,
DJ. Yeah, I know he.
Turn Up Charlie
Okay, I haven't seen that.
is a British television program. It says
Okay,
a
yeah,
struggling
yeah.
DJ takes a temporary job as a nanny for his famous best friend's 11-year-old daughter.
I probably wouldn't hate that. Well, come from where I come from. We've seen the movies I've seen because
Oh, I didn't know this. So early in his career, he had a side hustle he pursued when he was broke and left CDs of his mixes in New York City bars under the name DJ Big Driss.
yeah.
Noted.
Apparently, he used to
Yeah.
sell weed to people too.
Huh.
There was a
That,
couple. There's
that,
a
that I
couple
can
of
also
actors.
believe. Well, it's a good way to make some money. So
WWE, yeah, yeah. WWE is switching to net. So that's the thing that I'm confused about.
Mhm.
So Paramount, they bought the UFC broadcast rights, and from what I'm reading, when they take over in January, there's not going to be a pay per view price for what the big pay per view events. It's just going to be available,
Hmm.
which is an enormous change because I can't tell you how much money I've spent and other people have spent over the last what? How long have they been at ESPN now? What has it been? 10 years? It's been. I don't know if it's
It's
been
been
10
a
years,
It's
but
been
it's
a
while.
been, it's
while.
been a long time because they left Fox to go to ESPN. They were on Fox Sports One, I think, and then
Hmm.
that fell through. I don't know why they move around so much, but I guess you get the best deal that you can, right? Um,
So is
but
it more about
7.7 billion.
getting the money from behind the scenes, as
Yeah.
opposed to trying to basically take it at the register for people? Is that kind of the thing?
Well, they're still going to make money off of ticket sales. That's not going away,
Right.
and their
Well, yeah.
ticket
But
sales,
I meant,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the virtual register of watching it virtually.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna drive. So Paramount. Okay, so first of all, Paramount just did a merger with was it what's the name?
Skydance.
Skydance.
Skydance, right? So that's a
Yeah,
big
they're
merger.
Paramount Skydance now.
Yeah, that's a big merger. So there's gonna be a ton more content available for people, which I think is also a problem. It's a good thing, but it's a problem because I'll speak to that in a moment. And
Mm.
now they revealed that they did this rights deal right after the merger finished. So they were waiting. They were literally waiting for this merger to happen.
Yep.
UFC's been shopping around for a while. Dana White didn't have any information he wanted to share with anyone. He kept it close to the chest. He didn't mention one word. He didn't say anything about
Hmm.
ESPN, extending or anything like that. And not only did Paramount buy this, they're also interested in, and that's the U.S. rights, right? They're interested in the global
Hmm.
rights too, which apparently I
Interesting.
guess lapse every year. So they would have like 30 days after, their contracts up for the global ones to either initiate or UFC can move on with the global rights. But the US rights are in the bag for a while. Um, but if they have all of their rights though globally, Paramount is what, $14 a month right now. Even if it went up to 28 a month, I hope it doesn't. But even if it went to 28 a month,
Mm.
I still think UFC walks away with like a nice chunk of revenue share from those subscriptions.
Mm.
I think
Yeah,
that they're not losing. Yeah.
I think that they're trying to hope that they bring in a lot of subscriber base
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I foresee in the future either there's going to be a jack up in the monthly price,
Okay.
or they will start charging again, maybe minimally for pay per views.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
at the
Well,
outset,
Yeah.
yeah, it makes
yeah.
sense. Yeah.
If Paramount gets the global rights, I'm not sure if the pay-per-view model thing goes away for everyone else in the world. I mean, maybe it does, and if it does, that's a
Mm.
pretty big deal. If they don't get the global
Hmm.
rights, though,
I wonder.
UFC still gets. I mean, they still get pay-per-view revenue from other territories, right? So I guess it depends on what they're looking at in terms of their books and how much they brought in with ESPN. Because I don't know if I really think that they suffer from piracy a lot in the US. Like there's always
Yeah.
somebody who has like a pirate link or something to their streams, and they're always trying to take them down, midstream. Um, I myself, I haven't really gone that route for a long time because I like to support the fighters, but I know that exists.
Hmm.
I know that that's a problem for them. So I wonder if part of this deal is them thinking if we push it this way, maybe people will opt to pay the $14 a month, watch it on Paramount legit, and then they walk away with more money that way. Maybe not.
Hmm. You're
You'd
right.
have to
Yeah,
see
right.
it.
Right now, Paramount's in 29 countries. Right now, it says.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? You're right. TKO owns they own both of them, right? So it's not like the UFC just up and did something without TKO's approval. But and from what I could see, the CEO of TKO had something to do with this Paramount deal and something to do with the deal for ESPN with WWE. And I kind of feel like the WWE deal was maybe a consolation prize to ESPN. Like, hey, you guys are going to
Hmm.
lose the UFC, but how about we give you the premium? Like they call them the premium events now, which are the pay per
and
view.
I feel like that, because of ESPN's parent company, who's obviously also making moves in the space now as
Yeah,
well, with Hulu's dissolution, if you will. Yeah,
yeah,
I think a lot of these things are kind of going to be interconnected in a lot of different ways. We're not going to know all the reasons or all the
right,
happenstance, but yeah, it's
right.
definitely there.
That is a
Do
great point.
we
That is a
do we
great point.
know
Yeah,
when this
I forgot about that.
WWE thing is supposed to start? Because
Mm.
as I mentioned on the server earlier, you got to be
Beginning
careful with
2026.
Disney. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
2026. Okay.
So that's going to be
yeah,
pretty soon.
yep,
Because Disney likes to put things out there sometimes before they're completely done.
right.
Like this
Hmm.
whole NFL thing that they announced recently. That deal's not supposed to, take place for another couple years, but they made it sound like it was happening, fairly soon.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they do that when they don't want to talk about certain things, like maybe they don't want to talk about the Fantastic Four flopping hard,
right, right,
so they want to
right.
distract you with this shiny object of,
Or
the NFL.
you know what? You mentioned the Fantastic Four, but actually, they have a bigger flop before the Fantastic Four. And if you ask me, I think it's a bigger flop than Marvel right now, and that's Doctor Who. Like they did,
Oh,
they did not,
yeah.
they did not walk away with what they thought they would walk away with by bringing
Mm-mm.
Doctor Who over to their streaming service. I mean, first of all, they broke up the content. Max had, which is the funniest thing in the world, right? Because
Yep.
Disney Plus and Max are now together in a bundle. You
Yep.
can get it in a bundle, right? And they're competitors. So you have
Hmm.
basically the parent company of Marvel and then the parent company of DC, basically in a marriage together without actually being in a marriage. It's funny, but they did this whole deal with Doctor Who, and they were going to pump it with all this money, and the
Hmm.
graphics were looking snazzy, whatever. But it's like I don't want to say classic Disney, but at this point, classic Disney, they did not not that they were 100% responsible for this, but the writing, the delivery, they just couldn't bring in the audience they thought we were going to get from that. They didn't. So I yeah,
I'm gonna chalk some of it to marketing, because
yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
Shooty and the rest of the cast,
yeah,
they did so much more actual content, like BTS and other things like that, basically. And beyond
yeah,
that, basically,
yeah.
I barely saw an ad. I barely saw
Nope.
anything out in the ether, basically. And again, were there episodes that I liked more than others in the past season? Yeah. But like,
Yeah.
but again, I'm still somewhat of a who of a Whovian loyalist, but
Yeah.
and I probably will still watch no matter what. But yeah, we'll see.
I liked season 2, and I was
Yeah,
hoping for a season 3 because I think that season 2 is
same.
starting to rectify, the mistakes they were
Hmm.
making with the first season. However, they took a lot of time to get to that first season, and they brought back an old doctor to be a new doctor before you got to
Right.
the new doctor. which was a whole segue that just I
and
think they
and
lost so much valuable time and money doing that.
and we need like a reverse song spoilers clip here, basically.
Yeah, I'm not going to say too much more.
And
My point is that they dropped the ball on another piece of IP, so they're bleeding money right now.
yeah.
They are bleeding money on content, and of course for them it's a write off, right?
Mhm.
It's if something doesn't
It might
work
not
the way
be
they
it might
want to.
not be a Batgirl level right off, but yeah.
No. But it's still like some. I mean, they could report it as a loss, I guess, if they have the right numbers in front of an
Hmm.
accountant, maybe, right?
Hmm.
So Disney is doing some weird moves. I don't know what the ultimate plan is, but with Hulu going away, which is a great point that you brought up, um, and all of that. I mean, honestly, if you ask me, Hulu already started going away before they even announced it because
Agreed.
they brought it over to the Disney Plus app. It's been available there. You don't have to go to Hulu anymore to watch the stuff that's on there.
Hmm.
I don't know about the live
Yeah,
TV
I
portion.
didn't I didn't know which way it was going to be. I didn't know if Hulu was going to swap Disney Plus or vice versa at
No.
It
first.
should
Like,
have
well,
been. It should have been vice versa because Hulu
Yeah,
has a
yeah.
brand name. Disney
yeah,
Plus it's never been looked at
right.
as a
And,
favorite.
and
Yeah, they
Hulu
have
again,
an issue there with the
should be
I
what they
name.
don't I
should.
don't love I
Yeah.
don't love the way the ads get served on Hulu sometimes, but the player itself, like a couple years ago, was still way superior in my
Oh, it
opinion.
was the best. It was the best player. It was one of the best
Yeah.
ones around. It really was. So it's interesting that all of this is turning out the way it is. Um, it's interesting to be alive and see all this happening because you go from having cable television. Well, first of all, you go from having to need like all this like big bulky ass equipment when you're a kid. Then you go to having like not bulky equipment, and then all of a sudden TV is dead and everything's on these websites.
Yeah,
Right?
and
Hmm.
Yeah.
they're no longer going to be reporting subscriber numbers either.
Right.
Disney said that
Oh,
at
there
Yeah.
their
you go.
last
There you
investor
go.
call.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yep.
they're doing stuff, and they're not even going to tell you what they're doing
Right.
anymore.
Right.
So
And
Hmm.
now they're killing the websites and merging everything again, and now it's like Direct TV
Hmm.
and what's the other satellite company? Not
Dish.
Cox, Dish. Yeah, it's like satellite is like Direct TV and Dish versus cable all over again. Because
Hmm.
now you have to pick and choose where you want to invest your time to watch
Hmm.
content. Because like Apple TV is awesome. They really hit it out of the
Hmm.
park a lot of the time. Sometimes they don't. There's only a handful of times when you could probably look at some of the stuff they put out and be like, well, I didn't enjoy that. They really do have something for everyone, and it's not this like plethora of just like this endless mountain of content that you'll never get through, right? It's not like that. But what they do have has a certain quality. I'll give them that. Disney Plus, I got to be honest with you, like I really don't know what to watch when I go to Disney Plus. I really have to go to
Hmm.
Disney Plus on purpose, looking for something on purpose.
Hmm.
Otherwise, I'm
I
wasting.
mean,
Like I just have a subscription
well,
for nothing.
Paramount. Paramount's got such a huge,
Yeah,
deep catalog in there too.
they
If you,
do.
again,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
cannot watch one, but both Hawaii Five O's, for example. And like,
yeah,
there's so many things on it that people always they don't even know that they're there
yeah.
because
Not
it's
to
because
mention you
people don't
have
talk
stuff
about
like
it.
you got stuff like Yellowstone that's
Fair,
been
yeah,
a
yeah,
hit, right? And you got their spin-offs, you got
yep.
Landman and all that stuff that the people are buying
Hmm.
into now. You have Tulsa King with Stallone, which was first season was awesome. I don't know about season two. Jeremy Renner's show. This like Paramount's got a lot of
And they were
stuff
doing
right
Scott.
now.
They had the Scottish Premier League contract for a while, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, as well.
Not to mention all the Star Trek stuff that's still going
Yep,
on, and
yep,
Strange New Worlds. I haven't started the new season yet, but apparently it's really good.
yep.
I need to get my subscription back up and running and catch up on that.
I gotta get caught back up on that and
Yeah,
that for sure because I think I'm at least one behind. Yeah.
yeah. So it's Paramount's going to be a contender again. I think. I think that not that they
Yep.
weren't, but I think that it's going to be one that people want to have.
But they were an afterthought comparatively to saying you're talking about Netflix and Hulu and
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And now Netflix is, you know, they went the route
mm,
of doing like the weird boxing matches with Jake Paul and stuff like that. I mean, they were the first ones to pop up and be like, okay, we're gonna do live stream sports through what has just up until now been like movies and TVs for streaming, right? But and then they did that live special with Chris Rock, and I
all
think Dave
right.
Chappelle did a live one too, right? But there's not too much that I can
I just really wish I could have
think
recorded.
about for them. Yeah.
I had a conversation. This would have been back like mid 2000s, basically, that like I had a conversation about how my friends and I were talking, and we all kind of agree that there'd be this complete vertical integration basically of IP into media and everything that in between basically. And I wish you could have gone on the record to saying this, because like it would have been like Nostradamus level kind of stuff right there. I really wish I could have recorded it somehow, man. I swear.
Well, what I was hoping would happen is, what happened is probably better. It's definitely better for UFC watchers like myself and people we hang out with in the server, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But what I thought what was happening was Hulu was gonna close, Disney was gonna fold that into Disney Plus, or I guess they're making a new app, supposedly. Who knows if it's really gonna be a new app or it's just gonna be Disney Plus continued, right? And then their bundle would spread out and be Disney Plus, Max, and ESPN. Because right now you can either you have a hard choice to make. You can either do Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max, Disney Plus and Hulu, or Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. You cannot get ESPN mixed with all the other three. Right now, it's like it's hard. You can't even customize those bundles at all. So it's really a hard sell. And the sad thing about that is, with all of these subscription services, we're going to be spending like close to upwards of $100 probably to have a membership to all of them, right? A month.
Cable Mark II, yeah.
Right. It's something to think about, and then also something to think about. This is a segue far away from the topic, but is how much do you actually use some of the stuff that you signed up for, right? Mm-hmm. I would implore anyone who has a membership to anything like Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Max, Paramount, if you're not watching it, at least 3 or 4 times a week, and I know that sounds like a lot, but we're talking about having a subscription to something for years,
right?
If you're not watching 3 or 4 times a week, you're wasting money that you could be putting elsewhere. Unless
you're better off. You're better off these days. Like you'll have companies that you use for other things that'll have deals from time to time.
Verizon.
Like Verizon, or if you get a free month or whatever the deal is, you could try it out. That's probably your best option is to do things like that rather than paying for the service outright monthly. Because you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's not. You're not using it that much when you really think about it.
Yeah, and to JPM's point. When they brought in ads for the non-ad subscriptions, when they just put ads that you couldn't skip, it was just part of the role of the film or the show you're watching. They're like, oh, it's not an ad; it's just part of it. That was the end of the golden era for me with streaming stuff. It's like, you're making me pay for this shit now. Like, I didn't want to watch this. I've paid you extra money, so I didn't have to watch anything except for what I clicked on. And now I have to watch your promo for your stuff, and just because if you don't do it, nobody's gonna know. So you're trying to push your ad dollars here onto your own streaming service, and it's just annoying.
I think the next level here, again, there's a bunch of those. Where can I stream it? Can I stream it? Can I stream by it? That was the OG one, but the next thing is can I have an AI powered app that can tell me how to best consolidate all my programs? So like I say, I have Strange New Worlds come out, I have this come out. Okay, so I this season ends by August 17th, so I will reactivate my Paramount subscription from August 18th through September 9th, and then I will cancel it again. But then I'll re-up on Peacock or this. That's the ultimate way of doing it. Algorithmically, you feed in every IP or every active show in there, and it will do this for you. That would be like money right there.
Yeah, that's like going back to Disney Star Wars and then making me do homework. I don't like.
No, I'm just saying someone else. I'm saying someone else comes up with a way to do it, and I'll just pay them, $10 a month or whatever it is to figure it out for me, because that $10 could save me.
Wait a minute, you gonna pay somebody else? You gonna pay another subscription to somebody so they can tell you?
Well, no, but but it would calculate it all for me, So
Yeah.
I would, because basically if it's 100 something bucks a month, right, for all the
Yeah.
streaming services we got, and I can cut that number down to 50, and it's paying $10 basically. Yeah. Yeah, JBM is talking about a sub list. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically.
I mean,
And then
it's not a bad idea. It's just
I mean, maybe
I
$10
just can't
may be too much, but maybe $5 maybe is more reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, listen, the cost of everything in the world right now, including just spitting anywhere, is it's going up exponentially.
Mm-hmm.
You get attached to doing.
And not even in Singapore either. Yeah.
Yes. Wait, you know what? Before we get into Eyes of Wakanda, you said for some reason when you said Singapore, it made me think of Big Trouble in Little China. Like, I'm waiting for them to try to remake that. I'm waiting for someone to have the balls to try to remake that in the modern era.
John Carpenter is just waiting for his check. That's all he cares about.
That's fair.
Give me a check. Just pay me, and I'll let you do whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, they've done everything else, right? So might as well.
I wonder if there's fan casting for that out there already.
I'm sure there is. I mean, they could use AI for that too, I guess. Show me the best.
I mean, they would just say Wyatt Russell for the Kurt Russell role.
I like Wyatt, but he is not Kurt, man.
You're right.
He is not, and I don't mean that in a rude way. Like, he's his own dude. He's his own man. But how do you say this? I mean, I guess I'm from a different era, right? Like, Kurt Russell was one of those guys that he's like an action star. Back then, it's hard to put into a frame of reference for certain people how some of these action stars really were, dudes that you like. Oh, I want to be like Kurt Russell because he's in these like big ass blockbusters. Snake, what's his name? Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. Those cool ass characters, like back then. Yeah,
I had to go to my cast because I had to look. I'm not gonna lie. Your new Jack Burton, Channing Tatum, is what people are pushing there.
Actually, that wouldn't be terrible. And I say that because of 21 Jump Street, and then seeing him in a few other things, he won me over because I didn't like him at first. I didn't like him at first, and he won me over with some of his. He's like, James says no.
Gracie, they're pushing Aubrey Plaza for Gracie.
I don't know. I don't see that. Maybe I can see that. Yeah.
Very, very interesting stuff here. But yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just there's a lot of like potential that was never really seen from quite a few actors that could probably fit that role. But moving on.
Sorry about that. Yeah. That was a detour right there.
No. Oh, he's 50-50 on JBM's 50-50 on Aubrey. Yeah, she could do it, I think. Have we all seen Eyes of Wakanda?
Yes.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Only 4 eps. It was a quick watch. So
yeah. It was a quick one. Yeah. You're right. They were great. But I guess great times don't last very long, as they say. Right? Okay. So before we get into favorite episodes, rating overall, what do you think? I'm gonna say, I would probably give this as considering what we've gotten so far from Marvel animation, and considering that this was something that was that fits canonically, I should say, within the actual timeline of the MCU. I'm going to give it a 6.5 myself. JBM gives it an 8.
Okay.
But I'll tell you why I give it a 6.5 in a few. But what do you guys think?
Actually, I hadn't thought about what kind of rating I would give it. Honestly, I'm sure this is not going to be surprising, but I wasn't a big fan of Black Panther. So
the movie?
Watching this, I was,
okay.
The character,
Yeah.
I thought his best showing was in Civil War. So I mean, it was okay. It wasn't anything that I was looking for. I'd hate to give it a 5, but I'll give it a 6 because there's a little bit of entertainment value there. But did we really need it though? I don't know if we needed it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like I think a lot of the reason why I think I can't meet JB on this is at an 8 is probably because of that thing in my mind, thinking like, was this even really needed per se?
Right.
So I think I'm probably locking in somewhere around the 7.5 range in that vicinity, probably. Like I said, I think there's definitely improvements there. I mean, they brought in some really good vocal cast, I have to say.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was incredibly funny that they brought in Cress Williams to play the lion.
Yeah.
So like, Black Lightning himself, so to speak, from the CW. So
Yeah.
I thought that
No, that was a
I thought
great.
that was pretty. I thought again they had like a lot of really, I thought, really good people in here, basically. And so I think the vocal talent was, I think, was amazing. Some of the plots for me weren't like gelled great, but there were some like throughputs. You did have the one character who goes on to be become the head of the group there, basically. So yeah, so there were some nice
The War
through
Dogs,
points.
yeah.
The War Dogs, yeah, there were some through
Yeah.
points there that were cute, and I enjoyed those. But again, like, I wouldn't tell people, like, if you have Disney Plus already, you can go watch it.
Right.
If,
Right.
but I wouldn't necessarily sign up just to watch this because it's only 4 episodes. If let's say you haven't seen this in like the previous 3 TV shows, then maybe you just do a Marvel binge for a week and be done with it.
Yeah, that's a
You
hard
know what
one.
my question was after I watched this?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
My question was, why did it take so long for them to do something like this? Why didn't they put
Right.
this out
Yes.
shortly after Black
Yeah.
Panther? Because it would have
Yes.
hit a little bit differently if that
Yep.
had happened, but they put it out after Wakanda for Never. And I just was like, yeah,
Well,
I'm
we already
not.
have. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Continue.
I just was like,
Mm.
this doesn't. Why are we doing this right now?
Right.
It doesn't feel
Mm-hmm.
like it came out at the right
It's out.
time.
It's out of time. It's just like they picked it
Yeah.
out of the timeline and placed it in the wrong spot.
Yeah, it should have definitely happened earlier. But if not, if they were to tie this back in the
Right.
future, then
Well, I think
maybe
they are trying that. So I was gonna
right.
say, spoiler warning.
Yep.
There's the Watcher makes an appearance in the last episode.
Yep.
So I got 2 things from that. One, I thought maybe that last episode was perhaps something that was meant to be a part of the What If series at some point.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, it did
Yeah.
give What If
Yep.
vibes.
right.
Yeah.
And
It
so and then they decided all of a sudden at some point when they were doing it, which makes me wonder at what point if it was, what season was it supposed to be a part of? And if it was season 1 or,
Mhm.
maybe they changed their mind. They're like, actually, we'll save this and we'll do another series around Wakanda and we'll just make this a part of it. I'm
Mm.
curious if that was the case, just because he
Yeah.
made an appearance. Otherwise, why is he appearing? Like, are they about to do some big
Yep.
animation crossover at some point with the Watcher involving like
Mhm.
all the series, or is he going to show up in Secret Wars of Doomsday as well as some of these other characters that
Mhm.
we saw? I gave it a 6.5 overall, but I gotta say, like in terms of animation and look, it's a solid 10. It looks pretty damn good. The action was,
Yeah.
the
I
animation
think
was great.
I,
Yeah.
I do like this style.
Oh, he's in there.
Yeah. I do like the style for sure.
Okay. Yeah. He looks
You know
pretty
what?
good.
I feel like it kind of answered my own question with this one, but
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe we're trafficking off of Coogler's success right now.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So we had Sinners, and then we had Ironheart, and then we
Mhm.
had this, and it's like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? Are we just drafting off of Coogler right now?
Well, it's
So I
kind of
don't
hard
know.
to say that though, because it's just how long it takes to do everything, right? So maybe a little
Mhm.
bit. I wouldn't say we're doing it a lot because at some point, I don't know, man. Like it takes a while to do this stuff, to do the animation stuff, right? And then
Right.
Maybe more in terms of when it's coming out
right.
than like early concept with either one
Gotcha.
of
Yeah,
those
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the Iron Fist making an appearance? Because at first I thought I was going to be really into that episode, and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible at all. There was some funny bits in there, but
Mhm.
I kind of feel like they should be doing that kind of stuff on the big screen, and they always pull
Mm.
their punches on the big screen.
Hmm.
You know, where like people are hoping for certain kinds of things to happen in a movie and it never happens, and you do it in an animated series where like not many people are going to watch it, and like again, what's it going to do down the line for us? You know, I don't know.
I feel
Hmm.
like we were really trying to make the point that Wakanda has an effect on history in general. I think that's really what we're trying to
Yeah,
the point that we're trying to make with this. And is he leaving? Is Kugler leaving?
I thought, and I could be wrong. I need to go and do some research, but I thought that he was wrapping up his duties because he did Black Panther 2. And then I read an article at one point that said that he would be an EP on this Eyes Wakanda, and producing Ironheart, not directing, producing and
Mm-hmm.
writing
Yep.
maybe a little bit. But then after that, for Black Panther 3, I thought Shane Moore was going to take over the reins, and I thought Kruger was going to be out. But maybe I'm
Mm.
wrong. I got to read up on it more, but I thought that was the
Mm.
understanding that I got from everything I was reading. Of course, I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know his contracts, right?
Yeah. I
But
mean, I mean,
I
I
don't,
don't think. Yeah, nothing official's come out for sure. So everything we're hearing is just I think the hubbub from people out there.
I mean, does it really make sense for Kugler to stay at this point? I
I
think he
don't
can
think
make
so.
his own way. And honestly, I feel like he probably should have been gone after Black Panther 2. Um, I don't. I
Yeah.
don't appreciate what was done with T'Challa. I'm not one of those huge recast T'Challa people, but
Yeah,
I do think that was a mistake on their part,
yeah,
and they
yeah,
lost a lot of fans by
yeah.
not doing that. And
Mhm.
I feel like maybe Feige ceded a little bit more to Coogler and Nate Moore
Yeah.
in that situation. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
was a huge mistake, and it kind of shows with some of the other projects that have been done, some of the other movies. So yeah, he should have been gone after two.
I mean,
Yeah,
you could
maybe.
also make the argument saying that if he's more free to do movies like Sinners, for example, you
Yeah.
know would movies be better off with him in that position
Oh
independently
yeah.
more
Oh yeah.
so than being tied to a specific IP?
They gave. He went and did that movie, and I swear they should have just given him Blade.
Yep.
They should let that man run wild with that Blade script that had
They
all of
gave
those
they gave
elements.
him Blade's clothes
Yeah, you
for that
mentioned.
movie. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
they should have just let him do that. And I don't know if it's like the idea that maybe it would have been too much because he already had so much going on at Marvel, but or maybe they really didn't like that script because supposedly they have a script that they kind of like now, but we'll see if that actually manifests into anything else. But I think
Mm.
that he was the one to do Blade. He probably should have done Blade, but oh well.
With
Maybe we'll
that
get a
sensibility,
sequel.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, Sinners was great. I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody got to say. That was
Oh yeah.
great.
I still have yet to see it.
Oh man,
So
it's
I'll
on
let
I,
you
Max.
re-
Come
know.
on.
Yeah, I
I
have
really
Max, so
enjoyed
I'll
it.
see it. I'll
Yeah.
watch it, but
So
don't be surprised if
Oh
I have
no,
some
yeah, yeah,
critiques.
no.
yeah,
I mean, it's
I can't wait to hear what you got to say. Like episode one of Eyes of Wakanda was great. It pulled me
yep.
in. Episode two lost me quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
story wise. Just to be honest, episode three, it barely kept me. It really did barely. For some reason, the dynamic between the three characters, like the Iron Fist and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it just seemed too
It was
comedic.
too goofy.
It
It
was
was too
too
goofy.
It
too
felt a little
comedic.
goofy.
It was too comedic. It was almost, and this is not the place to do it because you're not watching a show that's on every Saturday, right? You don't
Mm-hmm.
need to waste time. You don't need a filler episode with comedy in it because you got an order for 27 episodes and you don't know what to do, right? This is not that case. Um, yeah, I mean let's be honest, that's what happens a lot of time
But
with
it's
those
well, it's like
animated series.
whatever trope is like, oh, we're going to do the musical this week, or
Right,
in anime, oh, we have to do the onsen episode, basically.
right.
It's yeah.
Yeah. But then that last episode brought me back in a bit. And
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say the way it ties, so I'm curious about whether or not they're gonna do more with Killmonger
Mm.
in Doomsday or in Secret Wars. Because
Hmm.
the importance that they've placed on this character and everything that happened in Black Panther 1 in terms of the timeline is like it's pretty big, for what was revealed and what's going on in the future supposedly.
Hmm.
So, uh if not, what are we doing here, Like
Hmm.
because why
And
would
yeah, I
you
mean,
why would you
like,
do that? Why
and
would you do that?
you
Yeah.
put in, like you said, you put in the Watcher, and how would you
Yeah.
not
Right.
think about,
Right.
how that what if shift basically in
Right.
things, how could that again? I mean, Battle World gives us so many unique possibilities. Yeah, they could do stuff, maybe from or not maybe from or not from the comics,
Yeah.
right? But they could
Right.
equally go as crazy. Oh, well, we have all these people or these things we could use at the MCU. Let's try it, right?
You know what? So this is an aside, right? Um, but
Hmm.
I hope what we walk away with after Secret Wars is that we don't see those characters, all of those characters that are
Exactly.
supposedly coming back, right? I hope that we don't see them for the last time. I hope what happens, and this is not what's going to happen, but I hope what happens is that once they soft reboot the MCU, as it were, that they come out with a series called Battle World, and basically you have episodes of like stuff that just went on that doesn't necessarily have to be tied directly into the movie's big thematic arc, right? It
Hmm.
could just be stories of from Battle World or shit that's going on that obviously could have been happening the entire time while that place existed, right? And it's just so much you could do with that
So like,
content.
like Battle World anthology,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. Right now it'd be like its own little you know
But
Black Mirror kind of thing.
who will be their Jimmy Olsen for the? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm sure they'll find somebody to as a throwaway character to put there.
Yeah, to
You
run it
know,
through. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
again, they invited Watsu back. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But what I like more of Eyes of Wakanda, yes, if there's less filler and more purpose about its place, and obviously this was showing us history of Wakanda and how things
Hmm.
develop. The one thing I didn't like, in terms of the characters' development, was the idea that there's so many people who seem to be just as strong as Black Panther.
Hmm.
Am I wrong
Yeah.
about that?
No,
Hmm.
Am I wrong about that?
everybody had the abilities
Right.
in
Yep.
this. So
What's the point of the
yeah,
heart shaped herb if like your
Right.
war dogs are like just as strong as you? Everybody's
Well,
shooting technology out of their arms, and it's
right.
uh yeah. I know you need an army and you need soldiers to help
Well,
you
yeah.
to back you up and everything, right? And they're going out and they're doing their missions or whatever, what have you. But I think that this gives more credence to that big crowd who's like, you should have just recast, T'Challa. Because
Mm.
at what point do you stop trying to tear down this character who's supposed to be, I don't know, on the same level as Captain America, if not like bigger in some senses, right? Just to supply us with other characters that we may not see again.
you
It's
know
really,
what?
yeah,
There was a lot of irony to
yeah,
this group of episodes because it was basically all about obviously Wakanda having an influence on
right,
history, but
right,
Yep. Hmm.
also they focused on the retrieval of artifacts and
right,
Yep.
trying to make sure that those things were not out in the world. But in the MCU, we
right,
have Bucky with his arm, we
right,
have
Hmm.
Captain America with his suit,
hmm,
and that technology.
Hmm.
So
right,
it doesn't kind of necessarily fit in the MCU, which I guess since it's a show,
right,
I don't know. Maybe they really wanted to give fans something,
yeah,
but it looks like that didn't work because I don't think a lot of people saw this on Disney
True.
Plus.
I
So
agree.
you know,
That I agree.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But at least we got a Black Panther in it.
Yep.
It's like to your point, JB. Like,
And Annika lending her voice to the role,
yeah,
no less.
yeah. I like the again. Episode 4 was my favorite.
Hmm.
It's just this whole idea that we need. I don't know. I feel like there's
Hmm.
too much technology going on here for something that's supposed to be in the past.
Hmm.
To get to the point where we're at with Black Panther in the modern day,
Hmm.
Like they were that advanced back then,
And then they also
Mm.
have all of these
right?
war dogs have conflict within themselves about, okay, well, I think I want to be free. I think I want to be
Mm-hmm.
away from Wakanda and live,
Right.
Right,
more of a
right.
life.
And that
So
does not paint a pretty picture for me about Wakanda. It tells me everybody wants to get
exactly,
the fuck away
Mm-hmm.
from this place.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
exactly.
I don't think that they
Yeah.
know how to handle this properly, this property properly. I don't think so.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I think it's also interesting because like I'm trying to think of what would be another you know kind of comparison you can make to a different kind of universe, so to speak. Because like the War
it's
Dogs,
hard.
like
Yeah,
the War Dogs are doing this work basically behind the
yeah,
scenes. So like,
yeah.
is this like a Section 31 kind of allegory kind of thing of
I,
sorts,
I don't
basically? Because
know. I
they're
don't.
doing the work that no one can know about. It has to be 100% secretive, but it's for the sake of the security of, well, in this case, Wakanda, not the Federation, basically. But yeah,
I
it's
would agree with you. Yeah, yeah. So Section 31 is from Star Trek, right? They're like,
mhm.
they do all the dirty work nobody else wants to do. They don't have the prime directives and all that stuff. It's
Yep.
they act, but war dogs are supposed to still have codes that they need to follow and things of
Right.
that nature.
That's the
But
thing. Yeah.
it's just an internal thing. But you're right. There is some kind of resemblance there. However, again,
The dark
if we're gonna
side of things. Yeah.
right, right. But if we're gonna do a show like this, right? Do we stop and ask what's the purpose of it? What's its intended purpose? What's it supposed to do to set up things in the future? Does it set up anything, or is this just like an aside and it's just something that you should tell people, hey,
Hmm.
don't hold on to this too seriously. Just something to just enjoy. Uh, and
I
a
think
what if from Wakanda's
general.
past.
The only thing I can really think of is that they just want to show that even though Wakanda was not heard of at all in the MCU till Civil War, so to speak, you
Yeah,
know, in a major way, basically,
right, right.
maybe this is just trying to show that okay, well, Wakanda's been here since forever, and that's kind of what they're setting up. Maybe I don't
Right.
know. That's the only thing I can think
But
of.
the problem with that is, of all the characters to do that with, it's a little too late, honestly. And I'll say
Hmm.
this as the reason,
Hmm.
and then we'll wrap up. But
Yeah.
and they did this with Captain Marvel as well. Like they
Mm-hmm.
waited so long to use characters that they actually had the rights to. They
Mm-hmm.
weren't waiting for any rights to revert to them. They didn't have to make a deal with anybody to use them. They had them.
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther, arguably being one of the more important characters when it comes down to the group of the Avengers forming later on, right?
Yep.
In the comics, but still having like a parallel journey to Captain America and Iron Man and all. And as far as the timelines go, they could have brought him in a lot sooner. They really could have,
Yeah.
but they didn't. And Captain Marvel could have been there earlier as well, especially where her original movie fit into the timeline.
Agreed.
So I think that what's happening here is their retroactive fitting is starting to really bite them in the butt bigger and bigger each time. Fantastic Four didn't land as hard as it could have landed in terms of that. It was still enjoyable. I mean, we're gonna see them again. Obviously,
Yep.
they show up at the end of Thunderbolts, that credit scene. Obviously, they're a part of the next few big tentpole movies that are come out, right? But hopefully, and I think the last outliers that we should say in terms of big characters are the Hulk and Spider Man in terms of contractual issues. Spider Man being bigger because there's so many characters that fall under that umbrella that
Mm-hmm.
also fall under the umbrella of someone else, maybe in that same comic universe, but they can't use them because of having sold those rights to Sony, right? Uh, so there's that, and then there's the Hulk and this whole Universal issue with him having a standalone movie. So for them to really rectify everything that they've done, building this current timeline for the next, I guess, version of it, the reboot. Honestly, it would be great if they had all their characters available to them.
Hmm.
Because then we're not looking at, oh, we need to fit this in and fit that in, and we got to go back and explain why this person wasn't there, and then all of a sudden we have these new people, you know. And I mean, even with the Netflix series stuff, the Return of Daredevil wasn't terrible, but that could have been a lot better. It wasn't terrible. Could have been a lot better, though. Right?
I
Am I
mean, again,
wrong?
Ah,
I'm most hopeful about
The
the
second
Punisher
season?
special,
Oh,
no,
I
the
see. I
Punisher
see.
special presentation. That's the thing I'm like the most like I think looking forward to.
Sure.
I mean, not that
Sure.
I'm not going to watch season 2 of Born Again. I'm just if I'm talking about those non movie properties, that special presentation is probably what I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. It is, yeah, they were more passionate than we would expect.
Mm.
That's true. I don't know, man.
And I think that, well, it's different because I think, like, because, like, I mean, nationalism is a funny thing,
Right.
in that regard. I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna say that because, like, we can talk for 3 hours about that.
Mm.
But yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. 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 Listen, I have a closeness to the MCU for a particular reason. Because when the first Iron Man came out and those movies start to really pop off in a certain way, I was working in, close to the visual effects field and doing certain things
Mhm.
and similar things. And I was like, oh, it's crazy to see all this stuff on the big screen, and you watch all these cartoons that make things happen, and you're like, that'd be really interesting to see what this is like on the big screen. And you finally see it, and it's bigger than life. But it's just not something that they were able to maintain, and nobody can really put a finger on why. Everybody wants to point their finger at Feige or someone else, but honestly, it's like they got lucky more than anything.
It's
This
not
I
writer is
just
a
think.
one
stretch.
thing. It's not
Yeah,
just one
yeah,
thing. There's a bunch of different
it's a
things
bunch.
that
Yeah, it's a
have
bunch.
affected it.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with it's not to get on this, but with Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars, right? Yeah, if they had just let Lucas stay on board and actually be in charge of it after buying it, he could have made them a hell of a lot more money. But
It's his damn universe, people. I mean, come on.
they decided that they wanted to try to do their own thing, and then it did not. Too many cooks, you know, too
I'm
many cooks.
imagining. I imagine what's his face and chasing Amy is doing his whole bit about talking about Luke Skywalker now.
Right?
He's gonna lightsaber down. He's gonna run the universe now.
Yeah,
That's all I think about.
yeah. Well, I think that's about all I got for this week.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else you want
Was
to
he
add? Before
anything
we go?
else?
Seeing anything else?
No, no, no. You got. No, I was asking if you had anything else you wanted to add.
Oh no, I don't have anything else that I
Okay.
want to add.
Mm.
But it was a great conversation,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can get together and do it again soon.
Yeah.
What's
What's upcoming?
Yeah, that's what I'm curious. I don't have a good mind for what's coming soon right now. I don't know why. My brain is
I
slipping.
think Labor Day weekend is such a funny weekend because, like, I don't think anyone ever wants to release something on Labor Day weekend because almost everyone and their mother is away someplace.
Right.
So I feel like I think nothing else is coming. I think majorly, as far as I know, till September. As far as I know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's Nobody to come in.
Right. Nobody two dropping. I forgot about Nobody two. Yeah.
Downtown Happy has a new film coming out. There's that Running Man remake coming soon.
Yeah.
That might be something I'll watch.
I'll probably go watch that.
The
I
Smashing
have so much
Machine.
nostalgia.
Yeah, yeah. The Smashing Machine with The Rock. I mean, I'll probably go see that. His return to grace after trying to take over DC. And sorry, DJ. And also
Shazam.
and Tron Ares. That was the one that we were talking
Tron
about.
Ares.
So
That I'm definitely locked in for. I think.
yeah, so I am planning to rewatch the original and then the sequel. So if you guys want to do that, then we can kind of like have a huddle stream about that.
I should totally do that. It's been a while.
Yeah, that's coming in October, so hey, you got some time. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be other stuff that pops up. Yeah. I want to thank everybody in the chat for hanging out. We had
Yes.
like
Thank y'all.
three whole viewers the entire time. That was pretty awesome. Thank you guys.
That's
for hanging
great.
out. Yeah, no,
Great.
it was awesome. Thanks for listening
Yeah.
to us argue and shoot the shit. And we'll catch you next time.
All right.
Yeah, bye bye.
Peace.